All right, it is November 21st, and here are our NBA predictions for this four-game slate here on Thursday. Headlined, I would say, probably by the Lakers and the Orlando Magic. It is the nightcap at 7:30 Pacific, but you've also got games between the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Toronto Raptors. The Utah Jazz go to San Antonio to take on the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, and of course, the Orlando Magic finish out their back-to-back in Los Angeles with the Lakers again at 7:30. So we've got predictions for all four of these games, and folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel, as well as our daily college basketball best bets. We'll have those coming out for you in about an hour's time. Actually, that video probably went out first today. I need to get this right. The college basketball video is already out on the channel because their first game started at 8 a.m. So the first game in the video is going to be at 9. So yes, the college basketball best bets has already came out. It came out at 8 a.m. This video, you're probably seeing this at 9 or 10. So yes, go check out the college basketball best bets video. That video is already out on the channel, as well as our NFL predictions that were posted yesterday, our college football predictions that were posted a couple days ago, and our UFC Macau China predictions with Piotr Jan and Davison Figueiredo in the bantamweight division out on the channel as well. Okay, let's get into the first of these four predictions. We start things off here at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. You got the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Detroit Pistons. You might think to yourself, wow, you're taking the Hornets to win a basketball game. I am, because Charlotte is a much better team at home than what they are on the road. Believe it or not, Charlotte has actually won their last three games all at home against the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Pistons as well. Again, that they won by 1 point a week ago. For Detroit, again, they have won 2 of 3, but they did lose their last game against the Chicago Bulls. And this is a team that, does play better on the road. I will give you that. They won their last 2 road games back to back against the Wizards and the Raptors, but those are the Wizards and the Raptors. Again, I've said it time in and time out this season about the Hornets, and my stance remains. They're a one-man team. Their team is, relies on LaMelo Ball. He is their squad. But at the end of the day, that's enough to win basketball games sometimes. And again, you will get production out of guys like Brandon Miller, and that's a huge need, I would say, for the Charlotte Hornets as well. Again, you saw that in Charlotte's last game, in a loss to Brooklyn by 1 point in their in-season tournament game. LaMelo didn't have to carry the entire load. Brandon Miller, again, was contributing. He dropped 29 points in that game. Obviously, it was a 1-point loss, but that's what needs to happen for the Hornets. You need to get production outside of just Melo. If that happens, the Hornets are a much more dangerous team, because right now it is just LaMelo Ball. Like, you don't get much production out of anyone else, at least consistent production. You get Brandon Miller, who's been injured this season. Miles Bridges has been hurt. Is he all that reliable? You get guys like, Nick Richards, Trey Mans coming off the bench. There's no reliable other ball scorers on this team. And you look at Detroit, again, this is a team that it's Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, obviously, as the star players. Cunningham's averaging 23.5. Jaden Ivey is averaging 18.5 this season. That's great. I just like Charlotte in the spot at home. Again, I really like what LaMelo's been doing this season. He leads this team, obviously, and I think Charlotte's able to sneak out a victory at home. They were able to do it the last time these two teams played in Charlotte, and I think they do it again. Give me the Charlotte Hornets to beat the Detroit Pistons at home in North Carolina. Next up, we move on to the 6th. We've got the Toronto Raptors hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really like the Timberwolves in this spot. Toronto's coming off of their first victory in a while against the Indiana Pacers, where, you know what, guys, I'm going to stop picking the Indiana Pacers. They're not banned, but Tyrese Halliburton scored 4 points. It's bad. It's really bad. I have 2 Tyrese Halliburton jerseys, and it sucks. I love Tyrese Halliburton. I'm a big fan of the Winter Soldier. I think he's just playing in the snow too much. I don't know. That's a joke. But I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Tyrese. It's really bad. Regardless, we'll get to the Pacers, their next game. Do they play tomorrow? I think they do. Yeah, they play the Bucks tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to be tempted to pick them tomorrow. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Guys, I might fall into the trap again tomorrow. I'm just saying. I might. Plus money Pacers. I don't know. They have to turn it around eventually, right? I don't know. Minnesota and Toronto. The Timberwolves should put belt to ass in this game. Let's just be honest with ourselves, guys. Minnesota's coming off back-to-back victories, Kings and Suns. But they're a weird team because they did lose back-to-back games to the Portland Trailblazers on the road, but they get the Raptors, and here's my thing. No way does Toronto win back-to-back games, right? They're 3-12 this season. Their wins are the Pacers, Kings, and against the 76ers as well. Again, I don't like anything the Raptors have got going without Scotty Barnes. Barnes is still injured, right? So, is Scotty back today? Oh, is he actually? Oh, he's questionable. Oh. Scotty might be back. Is Emmanuel Quickly back too? He's questionable as well. Wow. Okay, that does change some things, but still, I do like Minnesota to win the game. That would kind of push me away from taking the 7.5. Like, if you push me for a pick in this one, sure, I will take Minnesota to cover this line. But am I going to play it, though, if Scotty's coming back again? It's just the whole randomness and, so many different variables at play if Scotty Barnes does return to this basketball team tonight. I'll still take Minnesota to win. I really like them to win the game, and if Scotty does get cleared to play this one, you might see some value in Minnesota money line. Hear me out. There's a game later on in the video that you could pair it with in terms of money lines. I'll talk about that. I think you probably know what team it is, but I think if you pair Minnesota with, our team in our nightcap, you will get plus money at the parlay. I think Minnesota definitely wins the game. Do they cover, though? I wouldn't play it. I think they will. But again, there's so much randomness that could happen with this basketball game. Obviously, again, Ant's going to have a big night. Julius Randle should have a big night. I kind of hope that Minnesota's turned a page from that three-game losing streak to Miami, Portland, and Portland. I really hope. Okay? Minnesota, they've won back-to-back. They're 8-6 now. I'd expect them to go out here and pick up a victory. It looks like the Timberwolves have been playing a little bit more seriously. So give me Minnesota to win the game. I think they'll cover on the road against the Toronto Raptors. Next up, we move on to San Antonio. The Spurs take on the Utah Jazz. You might be curious, why are the Spurs only getting 3.5 points in this game? It's because Victor Wembanyama is not playing. At least he's not expected to play, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wemby's already been declared out. Okay, so no Victor Wembanyama for this game. Is Evan Vassell out too? Vassel's out as well, and Chris Paul is a game-time decision. Wow. Regardless, they should beat the Jazz, just because the Jazz aren't very good, and San Antonio, believe it or not, was able to play surprisingly really well in their in-season tournament game on Tuesday without Victor Wembanyama in their victory over the Thunder. Don't let that 6-point margin confuse you. San Antonio is well in control of that game at the tail end of the third quarter and for most of the fourth quarter until OKC came storming back when it was basically already over. The Spurs, they've surprised me, man. They've played a lot better than I thought they were going to play, and especially they were able to play well in that OKC game without Victor Wembanyama. Now you get them against the Utah Jazz. Utah, fell behind early in that Lakers game. Again, kind of like the Thunder in the Spurs game, found their way back into the ballgame as the game, was dwindling down, but obviously they still lost the game by 6 points. But this is a Utah team that's 3-11. Their wins are the Jazz. Sorry, not the Jazz. English. Their wins are the Mavericks. Their wins are the Spurs. And the Bulls. I don't think they win 2 straight in San Antonio. I'm going to be honest. Again, that first Spurs win was in San Antonio. I don't think they do it again. I get it again. Wembanyama is out for this game. The first Utah game, he dropped 24 and 16 and the Spurs lost. I just don't think they lose back-to-back at home against the Jazz. You want to look at their first game between the Spurs and the Jazz. It was on Halloween, and the Spurs were able to pick up the victory by 18 points. Wembanyama did have 25 and 9 in that game as well, but I think they should be fine. Again, I like the production we saw in that win over OKC. You get 22 points out of Keldon Johnson in that one. And again, this team is much better than last year. Again, last year it was just all Victor Wembanyama. Sochan would have some games. Obviously, Devin Vassell would, take a million shots as well. Keldon Johnson would try to contribute, but I get it. Keldon Johnson was the leading scorer in their last game, but you've got veteran players in this team now as well. Guys like Chris Paul, guys like Harrison Barnes, and Stephon Castle's one of the best rookies in the league. He's probably second right now in the Rookie of the Year race, if we're being honest with ourselves. It's Jared McCain and then it's Stephon Castle, which is crazy to say, but that's the way I'd have it right now. Give me Give me San Antonio to win this basketball game. They will cover the 3.5 points as well. They are the much better basketball team. They're going to win this game at home against the Utah Jazz, and they will cover as well. Let's go on to our final game of the video. We have got the Los Angeles Lakers at home here against the Orlando Magic. So Orlando's coming off of that game yesterday where they lost at the Intuit Dome to the Los Angeles Clippers. It's just a game they fell behind very early in, and they really just couldn't come storming back. The Clippers and their hot shooting sometimes. Norman Powell didn't even play that game, and the Clippers won that one by 11 points. Now, I did take plus 11 on the Magic at the start of the fourth quarter, and I did cash it. It was plus 11.5. We won it barely. But again, this team is, they're not bad. They've gotten on the right track. I thought they were going to beat Los Angeles, if I'm being honest, but they took their first loss in 7 games? The problem for them, though, is now they get the Lakers on a second half of a back-to-back. I don't think they go to Los Angeles again in the second game of a back-to-back and beat the Lakers, especially a Lakers team that is firing on all cylinders right now. They've won 6 straight games. I think they make it 7. Again, I'll say it every time we pick the Los Angeles Lakers and every time we talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, but Anthony Davis is the best player in the NBA. He is. Averaging 31 and 11 right now. He's the best player in the league. And on top of that, LeBron James, at 39 years old, is still playing at an elite level. Austin Reeves has been a great number 3 for this team. And who has shown up? Well, it is the rookie out of Tennessee, Dalton Knecht. That game against the Utah Jazz, incredible. 37 points out of Dalton Knecht? Again, the Lakers, They've found it this season. It's been a while since the Lakers won the championship where I have felt as a Lakers fan, oh, this team's actually contending again. Because that's exactly what's happening. And you know what the big test is, guys? Saturday night when they play the Nuggets. We are going to find out if this is actually a new era of Lakers basketball, if they can actually beat Denver. And hear me out, I think they probably will. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think they'll actually beat the Nuggets on Saturday night. For now, they got to take care of business against the Orlando Magic, and I definitely expect them to do that. Again, Orlando fell behind in that Clippers game because they weren't able to score. Anthony Black was the leading scorer with 17 points, but they could not consistently score anywhere. Franz Wagner, who is the leading scorer right now, was dropped like 13 points in that game. They really struggled to find consistent shooting and consistent scoring in that game against the Clippers. I think the Lakers should be able to pick this team apart tonight. Again, second half of a back-to-back for Orlando, cross-country trip. I expect the Lakers to win it again at the end and the tail end of this Magic road trip after playing the Suns, the Clippers, and now the Lakers. I like the Lakers a lot to get the job done and win at home and to also cover the 5.5 points. So folks, that'll do it for our NBA predictions here on November 21st. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow again for more daily NBA predictions. And make sure to go check out the college basketball best bets video that was posted earlier today as well. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.